Hey everyone, Natissa here on the subtropical Florida Gulf Coast, Zone 10, and welcome to the second ever garden tour of the 2023 fall and winter season. The thing this garden is facing is that we are under a drought phase 1, and that means that we will be going under water restrictions once per week. So what I've been focusing a lot of my time on is getting our garden deeply watered and bringing in mulch to keep as much moisture in as we can before we begin these restrictions, which will actually be in just a handful of days. That's where a lot of the time has been going, along with the holiday season starting up. And we've been doing a lot of harvesting. Beans, greens, and peppers, believe it or not. And I have not finished thinning my plants. I did post a video a week ago on free plants in the garden, and that technique has helped me so much through fall and winter. So check out that video, because this garden tour we're going to be checking out all those free plants we have planted. So to get us started in this tour, I'm actually going to turn you around. And who knows what this little one's going to do. She's been running. Little Minu. Alright, so over to the... Aw, she wants to go. Not yet, Minu. Not yet. You were just back there. Here at the classic wooden garden bed. I know. We have our first free plants. I put in some extra collards that were on the other side. Another little collard here. They're looking pretty good. Definitely a little behind the other ones, but you know, I mean this one's especially looking good, so we'll see. All right, going back around. Heading to the main archway. Minu is acting crazy. There she is. She's been running. All right, so here we are, the Titanic beds, as I call them. And we're gonna check out some more free plants and just see what's going on. So our homestead tomato, putting on way more tomatoes. And that one we checked out a couple weeks ago, looking big. Along the front, harvesting a lot from our Thai lettuce. And these Thai lettuces over here are actually some of the free plants. I took some from this cluster, gently lifted it out, and moved them around, and they took very well. This was a couple weeks ago, so these are going to get larger and produce more lettuce for us. And this mustard, a free plant, took from a cluster of mustards. So there is a ton. Things are looking larger. It may not look like there's much more from our last tour, but we've been harvesting, you know, keeping everything picked. But our Ethiopian kales, these are actually free plants as well. Yes, really liking those. This might be a mammoth snow pea. This is from a seed packet I'm testing out to see if it is what it is. And it's been latching its tendrils on everything, trying to make sure it doesn't reach this wonderful tomato plant. Our purple beans, I actually haven't checked them in a while. Oh, I do have a bean I gotta get there. Gosh, been harvesting so many beans. I kind of, you know, got all caught up in the watering and mulching that I have not been on top of my beans lately. I know there's green beans on the other side. Turning you around. Oh yes, look what is about to happen here. Oh, the nasturtiums. Oh yes, looking forward to that. Right along the side here. Also more free plants. I had a couple of outrageous lettuces here put in a cluster, and I've gently lifted them out and moved them around, so that way allowing them to do that gives them a chance to grow larger and more lettuces. And that's, you know, and this free plant method, you know, You could, when thinning out your plants, just snip them out. But doing it this way just gives you more plants to work with. In fact, most of my plants in the garden in the fall and winter time are free plants, just because I'm moving things around. Ah, the Mizuna is exploding. Been eating so much of that. And on this side of the bed, this is the middle bed. So we have our purple bok choy, more free plants from the original planting site. And these actually look a lot better than the ones that I have in the other bed. In fact, we can take a look right now. Amongst this sweet potato forest, we do have the original bok choys. Yeah, I'm not worried about picking them just yet, letting them go to seed, but I have been picking from this wonderful green bok choy, and all of that's being covered by all the beans that we've been harvesting. And the bean plants, they've seen better days. There's still a lot of beans on there. In fact, I got to go in there. I see a little bean here. See if you can tell. It's hard to tell on the camera, but some of the beans just are not looking as good as they did when I first started harvesting. Now the quality is starting to go down, but that's expected. These are bush beans. They don't last as long as pole beans, I've heard. Not successfully grown pole beans, but that's something I'll be working on. We're going from this sweet potato forest all the way to this sweet potato forest, but the sea of collards are before us. Tons of collard greens. This is where I took some of our free collard plants and moved them on the other side, and I probably should do that a little bit more. But yeah, they're looking good. If I did space them out more, they would get larger, but like I said, I've been busy with other things, but we're still harvesting. I'm going to try to make some kale chips very soon. Ah, yes. Nasturtium. Oh boy. Gotta move you back. Constantly moving back all of these sweet potatoes and nasturtiums, so that way my other kale, my red Russian kale, can get some light because it's getting bigger. Very nice, very nice. Plant on the side is a Suriname spinach, by the way. This is a summer spinach that grows very well. It's not really spinach, but it's a perennial green that grows here very well in Florida and likes the heat and humidity. Keep it well watered, and this is actually the best quality of Suriname spinach I've ever grown, probably because I've been doing a lot of watering. And of course, got to get mulch in here, but that's on the way. All right. Oh, I forgot to show you the first sugar snap peas. I'm so excited. Look at that. Oh, I can help this little guy up and out of there. He's getting taken over by this Everglades tomato, but yeah, I'll have to help him out. But this one, yes, first ones. All right, turning you around to this side of the bench. Yeah, last time we were here, I told you I need to clean up these tomatoes, the honeycomb hybrid, and believe it or not, I did. You know, tomatoes grow so fast. But here, I am tying up this tomato branch up to the bench, as I've done last year. So we have the beginning of my tomato vision, one here. I've been getting one branch up back there. And then I'll have this one possibly going along the top. We'll see. The zinnias, I know. Beautiful, but yeah, struggling. My green one is absolutely gone, nipped by bugs, so that's okay. Amongst my butterfly pea that I really like. Yeah, the butterfly pea. Yeah, the blue flowered butterfly pea. So below the butterfly pea, our sugar snap peas, or possibly the golden snow pea, coming up. I know it's not ideal to have them kind of planted amongst each other, but it is coming out, so I'm just going to let it go, letting these seeds from the butterfly pea continue to go on because I want to save those, so that's okay. I mean, it's working. But I am struggling getting all the peas along the back of the fence. That was my dream, but it'll be all right. I have peas elsewhere. Going along the back are stem mustards again. Let's see. Starting to maybe plump up a little bit. I don't know if you can tell right there. Starting to do a little something. So still very excited. Passing these beautiful flowers. Yep, look at this thing, the Aros Compolio pepper. I have been harvesting so many peppers from this every other day. I mean, not a basket full or anything, but just, you know, a handful every other day. And it's still loaded. And it's still putting out blooms and little peppers. So it's still not done. Oh my gosh. All right, turning you around a little bit here. There's the bench. And here are more beans, the dragon tongue bush beans. Yep, they are definitely not looking that good. Gonna keep them there because sometimes beans, oh yeah, sometimes beans surprise you. There's a bloom, yes. So it's not done. I'm gonna let this go a little bit more. On the side, we have more sugar snap peas. I don't see any on there. Oh no! Yes, I do. There you go. Another pea. Oh, I'm so excited about this. The peas along the back may not be working, but a lot of these dwarf peas are, so keep it up, keep it up. Along the front, we have our blue dazzling kales and Ethiopian kale. Everything looking good. I have a couple of free collard plants here and some free kale plants. So obviously well, you could leave it like this, but I'm going to have to really select one to let it go on. But those are free plants from around the garden. So more plants, more food. So from here, we'll just spin you around. And more free plants. We have some of the surprise Celtis lettuce that self-seeded on their own, and I moved them in this pot, along with another Ethiopian kale. So otherwise, I would have just either clipped them out or let them go, and they wouldn't have thrived in wherever they were originally. So instead of just cutting them out and that be that, I put them here and, you know, more plants. Tons in this bed. Look at this bed. We're going to continue making our way around. But starting down here, the nasturtiums, of course, coming up. Some of these marigolds that I do need to select. Or maybe I could leave it like that. I don't know. But they are starting to bloom, so I'm excited. More free plants. Carrots I do need to thin, but I've been so busy with mulching, as you can see. So I'm just letting, you know, just priorities. Spinning around. Here in the front area of the cornerstone wooden bed, I have just a couple piles of mulch, and we are definitely working very hard on that, and we're definitely going to have to bring in more. This is not going to cover it all. I have way more gardening space than you're going to see on these tours because we're just focusing on the fall and winter. I have fruit trees around other parts of the yard, and we try to make sure we mulch our plants very thick because we need to keep that water in. Yes, I got a lot of work to do. But no complaints because it is fall and winter. It's a little cooler for us, so if it's going to happen, let it be now. Here is all of our mustards here. Oh yeah, these mustards were featured in the free plants video in the beginning when I was taking plants out. So see those? I took from that, and we're going to go further that way. And on the side of these turnips, and there are those mustards that I planted in that video. That looked extremely wilty. And to be honest, I did think they weren't going to make it because it looked so bad. But I've done this the past number of years and it's worked wonderfully. And yes, sometimes I lose some plants because they're just not strong enough to make it, or a bug comes and gets them, or something happens, whatever. But a lot of the time it does work, and there you go. So yes, I could even thin that out more because these get rather big, but I might keep it like that. So yep, that is the original bunch. Let's go back. I gotta show you those beets. Oh, the beets. The beets. Pretty sure it's Detroit. Let's see. I want to show you. It's hard to tell. Trying to get a good shot of them plumping. These might be the white beets that we're growing. Let's see on the edge here. Ah, you kind of see the roots starting to swell there, so that's really cool. Yeah, pretty sure that's the white beet. And next door here, the golden beets. I saw some good signs of swelling of the stem. Right in there. It's hard to see beyond the little stem. I don't want to break anything. But yes, it's happening. So I'm very, very, very excited about that. And I forgot what this beet is called. I can't pronounce it, but I call it candy cane beet because it's striped when you slice it. But yes, look at that. It's happening. Very nice. And next door, the black carrots. I'm tempted to pull them out, but I know they still have a little ways to go. And just below that, more free plants. Ethiopian kales. I spread those all around. And more free plants. The stem mustard. Right here. From this original patch from the video, I moved more off camera right here and spaced them out. So look at that. Look at my hand on that, just to give you some perspective. Really nice. Very good. All right, we will turn you around. Yeah, here is the horseshoe bed. And we're gonna start, and Minu, oh, getting something. Don't get that bee, I need it. Right, starting here on the outside. I'll show you this tomato. Still hanging in there, that beautiful, beautiful green Oregon Spring tomato. There's definitely a good number of them on there, and they're in that green stage. It takes a while for them to start turning to their true color. Cilantro there. Our cabbage, we've been harvesting a lot from these. Every time I look at it, I swear it's just more big leaves. I just harvested some of that yesterday and the day before. Cuban oregano, I need to trim back. It is just exploding like nuts. It's like way out there. Look at that. Yep, it's a good grower though, and tastes really good. More Chinese cabbage, the Chinese loose leaf, which I really do need to trim some of this back because I think it needs a little bit more sunlight. Oh, look at this. The first ripening tomatoes of the season. Besides Everglades tomatoes, of course, but the honeycomb hybrid. Oh, that one has my husband's name on it. Actually, all of them do. He really likes this one, so I'll be getting some of that for him. Look at this. All the way up, up, up. Tomatoes, tomatoes. Little tomatoes starting here. Bloom's going to be doing their thing soon. And that's not even including this branch from that main stem coming out. And more coming. More. And more. And the branch coming out from the other side. So this tomato has been very good for us and we like it, so keep growing. Further down here, more free plants, moving some of that Chinese mustard around and looking very good. Already been harvesting from it, as you can see. And I've only done this a couple weeks ago, so things are really established and really taking off. So this is a very good method to really grow your garden, have more plants, more food. So yes, around here, my lone chard. I planted a little bit of chard here and chard over there, and well, there you go. That's why I plant a lot of seed. We got one. That's all I need right now. This is going to be my best friend very soon, the lemongrass. Now that we're in the phase 1 drought, we need to get mulch on the ground and really make sure we're taking care of where our water's going. And we have been doing that. And one of the things we've also been doing before this all happened is trying to establish things that, like lemongrass, like perennial sunflowers, that you'll be seeing more as we go along. Those are great chop and drops that you can take, chop them, and drop them at the base of your plant, and that will help with keeping water in the ground and feeding your soil. So that's actually a lot of why you see lemongrass all around. Yes, you can make it for tea. Yes, you can flavor your food with it, but mulch, that's what we're after with this plant. Continuing the rock bed. So down from this lovely lemongrass, we have our salad radishes. And look, they're plumping, so that's so cool. That's like the perfect looking one right there. And there's another one. I just put some random ones here, and these ones are starting to do a little something. Let's get you on the other side of this other lemongrass. The bees are, oh, there they go. They're getting their morning drink. The bees are getting the breakfast from these African potato mints. They are actually starting to flower. That's something I want to do a video on and talk about a little bit more, but this is, yeah, get that on your radar if you are in the south. Heat and humidity, yes. More salad radishes here. I don't see any plumping. Before I continue, let me turn you around again. Area, the bed by the sunroom, we have more free plants. Blue borage, the tung-ho chrysanthemum, and that's all along the back. Couldn't get my zinnias back here, but we have so much else starting to work. In fact, a lot of them are the free plants. So, see, you know, that very handy tool for your gardening toolbox, as they say. So doing this free plant method is a very good thing for gardeners to know that they can do with the existing plants in their garden, because that bed was not doing too well for me, and because of those free plants, I have a lot more growing there than I would have. So yes, do it, consider it. Back to the bed. And these beets, they're not free plants, but I resowed them a couple times, and I mean, they might do something. They're way not, you know, as you know, they are not as far along as the other beets, but you know, it's looking promising to me. And like I said, it extends the harvest out, so we'll see. Over to the turnips. Oh my gosh, it's hard to portray it on camera, but yes, those turnips are farther along. In fact, let me go take a look. I forgot to show you, so let me spin you back. So back to this bed. One second. So hopefully you can tell that these turnips are definitely farther along, but there we go. See that? It's starting, the root is starting to plump up. So that's really good. Very promising. Very quick too. We are in late November, and I planted these in, gosh, that video, was it late October? So fast, very fast. And it's fall and winter, and things grow slower, so can you imagine? All right, going back where we were continuing. There's Minu digging a hole. Minu. Continuing on the horseshoe bed. Lead the way, Minu. To my pride and joy. Look at it, the cabbage head is actually forming. Oh, I am so proud of this. That is so nice. Oh, Minu, if you get that, you won't be my mascot anymore. But you're a good girl. You're a good girl. She's actually very good in the garden. Except with sunflowers. Any sunflower she sees, she will rip those out and eat them. So I guess you can't ask for too much. So yes, keep it up, my friend. Kohlrabies. I need to do more free plants from them. Actually, I did, and I'll show you what happened. But yes, I need to work on that. And our watermelon is still going. Maybe not for long because Minu's sitting on it. Minu. Unknowing. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. All right, so watermelon going. Have not seen anything. I do have a giant kohlrabi in with this container, so we'll see. It's looking very good. Very good. It's always amazing to see something so little and scraggly, you know, start to really form itself. So keeping it up. Actually, kind of starting to plump. A kohlrabi is just like a very large swelled stem, and this is the giant one, so it looks like it's just beginning. So keep it up. Coming on this side. Those radishes still looking really big. And above it, good thing that I showed you that red cranberry roselle in our first tour, because it's definitely forming all of its calyxes. That's where the, we have the blooms, which, there we go, beautiful bloom. But it turns into these, and this is where the seeds will be in these pods. And it still looks very beautiful, but it's just not loaded with flowers because I think the peak of the flower blooming is probably past. But still, you can eat these leaves, and like I said, it still looks very good. We'll probably do this again right here next year. We've really liked that. Coming down, more tung ho. It's starting to get larger, but the tung ho on this side is definitely larger. Still got to thin them out. However, I did take the free plants from this cluster and moved it over to the sunroom bed that I showed you. So the ones over there have catching up to do, but yeah, I mean, this plant is glorious. Another free plant. The rutabaga right next door here, yes. To move root crops around is not ideal, but look at this. This was done a few weeks ago and it has grown larger. In the free plant video, you'll see that. Right, more cabbages I gotta deal with. I'm gonna turn you around and show you something. Underneath this protective mesh is a failed free plant container. It happens. In the free plants video, I planted the red keltis that I have found that reseeded itself. Put about 4 or 5 plants in there, and the very next day, all of them were gone. And I had this cover on it, and I thought, okay, some sort of rodent or something must have cleaned it out, just because, well, with the drought, I also know that, you know, there hasn't been much water, so I'm sure the critters are out searching for water in other places that maybe they wouldn't have otherwise. But yes, it was cleaned out. So I took some of the kohlrabis that I had overseeded in the container, moved them out as free plants, put them in there, and the very next day, gone again. So there is something in here, whether it be like a rodent that comes at night and it maybe it just pushes this thing up. I don't know. But I do have to do my checks because this has been a problem spot for me right now. Win some, lose some. That's why it's good to have free plants. You get a lot more and you just keep on keeping on. Continuing on, beyond the lemongrass. Yes, look at that. Our baby bok choy looking good. I have been harvesting so much from here. in our salads and cooking greens. Yeah, the onions did not come up in here, which was very surprising to me, but the bok choy, keep it up. Around, swinging around. Oh, our black crim tomatoes. Yes, it's happening. African potato mint dying back. Every time I swoosh this, though, move it, I do see white flies. I don't think you can really see that on camera, so hopefully there's not anything bad happening with that. It is flowering. It is the time of year for them to do that, and they make their tubers, so... Oh, there's a better one. Look at that. Yeah, so yes, we're watching that. Ugh, I need to decide which Chinese cabbage is going to go on. I have 1, 2, 3 of them here. And yeah, I need to get on it. Still looking good. Moving past the roselle. And here are the rutabagas that I've been slowly thinning out. This is the patch that I took from our free plants video. And I still need to space them out a little better. Like maybe keep that one there. Maybe keep one of those. Maybe keep one of them. I mean, maybe only 2 in this spot. It's hard to fully tell on camera, but I mean, these plants will get a lot larger, so we'll see. More of that cilantro, that crazy Cuban oregano that I just noticed this the other day as to how big it got, so I'm like, oh man, gotta make decisions. But another free plant I'm excited about. The big kohlrabi right here. It's actually looking really good. I just trimmed back some of this not long ago, but I really need to pay attention and do more just because I want him to work. I enjoy kohlrabi. Moving down the line, more rutabagas. Probably going to keep one of those. And of course, my beloved blue feathered lettuce. That just self-seeded. And going up are tomatoes. One of the many tomatoes that we don't know what is because it all came from a random heirloom seed pack. But I am letting this branch right down here. I'm thinking I'm going to let it go along the back of this fencing. I've done things like that before with especially the honeycomb hybrid. There it is right there. So I don't know what this tomato is, but I'm thinking of letting that go a little bit. I did take out on the other side, there was that diseased chocolate pear tomato, so this will give more room for that to do whatever it wants to do. Oh, I don't want to forget to show you the peas. These are the successful peas. Hiding all back in here, going up, the Cascadia peas. In fact, I really need to clean this out because I need these peas to work, because these are ending up being my main peas of the season because of the back fence not working out like I planned. So I really need to take care of these. This one's going up. It's going to run into tomatoes. More peeking up in there. Yep, so much to do. All right, so walking out this way. So coming out of the horseshoe bed, we will make our way along the back of the fence. I forgot to show you what was going on back there. All right, we stepped past this beautiful Arroz Campolio pepper, and I have to show you the marigolds. Here's the marigolds here, swooshing past our carrots and our daikon radishes looking great. We have more marigolds. Look at that. They're so beautiful in the light. I see things like this and wonder to myself, why do I keep fighting with trying to grow other things I can't or just can't do very well? Because marigolds, I mean, yes. Stepping to our eggplant. This is a new eggplant from last time. I actually harvested everything from our last tour. We got about 5 or 6 of them. And let me see if I can find more starting. Oh, there's another one on the bottom. That's not the same one from the other time that I discovered. Another one behind this leaf. I check every day, believe it or not. Some other blooms, another bloom in the back that are looking good. Let's see. I thought I saw, you see that? It's hard to tell, but there is an eggplant forming right here, so it's not done. Keep stepping over here because another cluster of marigolds. They look so good. And just to kind of see them along the back. This is nice. This is nice. I admit I wanted the whole thing covered in the back, but you know, it's okay. I come back here just to admire them. Watermelon radishes here, getting everything. This I leave up. This is an old roselle plant. I noticed critters have been eating some of those little fruits on there, so I figure let the critters clean it up and stay away from my other plants, because I have a lot of other things I don't want them to get to. In fact, let's show you those tomatoes right now. Hey, Minu. Before I show you Mr. Stripey, more free plants. That Thai lettuce from the other bed. Look at that. I've already harvested a number of times from it. All right, here we go, Mr. Stripey. So getting you around to see the fruit, they're still there. I don't see any blushing, but going up, we have more starting. So there was a point I was wondering if this tomato was going to produce more, and it's trying. Oh, something you'll see. Hey, how's it going? These reflective mirrors, those keep a lot of the birds away. We originally set them up with our Barbados cherry tree we have because a lot of the birds were just eating our cherries. The moment we hung those reflectors up, we started to think, whoa, where did all our birds go? And we're like, oh, it's those mirrors. So we didn't want to scare the birds completely, so we just rearranged them on the tree. But we got cherries to eat for ourselves. Of course, a day like today where it's cloudy might not do what it's supposed to do as well because the sun's not out making the reflecting lights which scare the birds away. Gosh, sometimes scare me too. But yeah, so now that the Barbados cherry is not producing at the moment and our tomatoes are, I've been focusing on keeping every one of those mirrored ornaments, that's what I call them, the mirrored ornaments with the tomatoes in hopes to protect them best I can. So that's the explanation of that. Tomato time continued. So far, so good. Right, moving on down. I moved this, the annual Mexican sunflower. It tipped over because of the small pot. It was there in the last tour. But I leaned it against this lemongrass and it actually looks really pretty. So I actually might do that in the coming years again. Flinging around our brandywine, still just producing some flowers. We'll keep an eye. Swinging to the side. Bad news. The large tomato that was right here, gone. I shouldn't say gone, but something went right inside and ate it out. I didn't even notice until I was mulching this plant and I saw some of the juices from the tomato, or at least I was hoping it wasn't, but it was. So a hole in the back, rotted inside, fed it to the banana trees. That's what you can do with some of your produce and cuttings. Just put it underneath another plant, another tree. That plant will eat it, and then you can eat from that plant. It's actually starting to rain, which is great in this phase 1 drought, but not great for garden tours. So we'll see how far we get. So Just get around to this side and continue on. All right. So yes, we had the tomato casualty, but we have more tomatoes coming up here. Looking good. We gotta swing fast. The rain is getting harder. All right, I tied up this tomato. I told you I had to do something here. I put a stick in the middle of this stake groove and stuck another stake to it. Used a zip tie, hopefully you can see all that. It gave me a few extra feet. Beyond this, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but it is looking good. I'm letting that go still. More beautiful tomatoes. Pride and joy down here. Oh gosh, please work. Very sad when I found the other tomato not make it. So this is the one I'm just having fun keeping my eye on. This tomato plant that I talked about, how I let it split and divide off into two plants. Well, it's not really two plants, but just two main branches. This tomato plant and the one next to it did not have any fruit on it. And now, tons of fruit setting here. There's one back in there. And more on this side and that side. The difference only a couple of weeks can do. Let's see the other one. Hard to see with the foliage in the back, but there are a couple of really good tomatoes forming right here. Oh, there's something I gotta show you, but I gotta show you on the other side. And look at that cluster of blooms. See if I can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, well over 10 that I see. Isn't that nuts? I don't have many that do it that much. Let's just finish up right here. Black crim tomato. Still in its green stage. More tomatoes, more tomatoes. The cluster of 5. Actually, I think that was the cluster of 5 we looked at last week. That one there. Or 4 or 5. And there's more. Look at that. And more starting. And even more on the tip. That's nuts. And we're sneaking over to our Jubilee tomato. I'll get a little closer to that. Jubilee. Look at that. Look at that. Very nice. We may have had a bit of a tomato tragedy, but they're looking really good. And remember, we don't know what most of them are because of that random heirloom seed packet. But very soon we're going to start to see the blushing of the tomatoes and the colors will start to change and we will begin to know which is which. So, like I said, stay tuned for that. I'm really excited. Not bad for our row of tomatoes. Quick pointing out, below my prized tomato, I did want to show you some more free plants. This is the Kamatsuna Asian green, a great spinach substitute. The original planting of Kamatsuna, a lot of it all is free plants. Way more in this bed too. Coming out of this side here, purple kohlrabi free plants. That looks like they took. I was a little concerned. I definitely still have more to do, but it's nice to see a little something working with all this busyness I'm in now. Still making my pumpkin selections, but look how big that is getting, the kielbasa squash. Swinging around. Mizuna. These self-seeded cosmos. I'm so excited. It is starting to bloom. And still, my other pride and joy, my broccoli. I don't see any broccoli heading up in there yet. But thankfully, you can eat the leaves and the stalk. In fact, in our first garden, we had a broccoli start from the store. and ate the broccoli, ate the leaves, and when it came down to the stalk, I was thinking to myself, well, why would you want to eat that? But I peeled it, and it was so good. It was just an eye-opener of what garden food can taste like. And it is because of the stem of the broccoli that I was introduced to kohlrabi, and that has become one of my favorites. Oh, it's really starting to come down, the rain, so I'm really gonna try to speed through this now. Our cabbage, this littler one, starting to do its thing. Moving along the back, because I have the free plants in this random container. I showed you it a couple weeks ago, but these are some free plants. Took them from the beds and stuck them here, and they're growing well. In fact, this Chinese cabbage originally got eaten down by bugs, and I thought it was a goner. So I planted some more things around it, you know, thinking, well, you know, it's okay, more free plants. But it came back and it's looking really good, so we'll make decisions later, but this is a nice little free bed container. All right, moving down the line real quick. A random Ethiopian kale. Our rebel plant, which I think is the melon. It is starting to flower. I feel like it shouldn't yet, so maybe there's some struggling here, but we're letting it go. And last but not least, another free plant. I think this is a mustard. Let me get you to the other side to show you a little better. So I've mentioned before that along the back of this fence, we get a lot of shade from the house, so I don't really plant a lot here. But now with all these free plants, I'm free to experiment with this side and see what we can do. So stay tuned for that. And hopefully this tour has shown you the success of the free plants, so that way you can get started getting your free plants too. The rains are still coming in, no complaints, and so much mulching needs to get done. So gardening in a drought, can we do it? Well, we'll see as the season goes on. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Are you enjoying the rain, Minu? Are you enjoying the rain? Time. Oh, she's ready. She's done. I'm coming, baby girl. Can't forget the honeycomb hybrid. This one looks good. Why not? Nice. Now we can go. You ready? You ready? Yeah, I know. All right, get you in, my baby girl. All right, we'll be seeing you in the next one.